Hi, so this look is inspired by a Kim Kardashian look, and I hope you enjoy the video.
So to start, after priming my eye with my Urban Decay Primer Potion, I'm going to work shadow into the crease. Now in the picture of Kim Kardashian, she's wearing a very warm brown in her crease, and when I say warm that means it has red undertones in it. So I don't have a colour that would match it exactly, but I'm just going to mix and match what I do have. So I'm going to start by actually taking a blush. This is MAC's Harmony, and it's kind of like a bronzer blush. I don't know how well the colour is coming up, but it's a medium brown, definitely with red undertones. So I'm taking that on a MAC 224, and I'm just going to buff that into the crease, just to give that warm background at least. And I'm pulling that upwards a bit so that it's kind of a transition colour that the darker colours blend into. I'm then going to take this pigment from BareMinerals, it's called The Gift, and it is a warm brown and it has sparkle in it. So I'm taking that again on my 224 and buffing it into the crease. This is just a little darker than the blush I just used, so we're just working in some depth. And I'm blending it out into the outer corner right here, because I looked at a few other images of the look she was wearing, and it was actually less blended and smoky, but more kind of a structured shadow, so you could actually see the winged shape, and you could see where the brown ended and where her highlight began. So keeping that in mind, I'm just blending it into kind of a little V shape out here. I'm going to perfect that a bit later. And on Kim, the colours are also taken right into the inner corner right here. So now that I have those ready brown colours buffed into the crease, I'm going to take a darker brown. I'm going to take Mystery by MAC, that's this one here. And taking that on a shader brush like this one here, I'm going to start with working that V shape into the outer corner. And how you know where to place your lines is just carry as if it was carrying on from your lower lash line, because you're going to need to connect that colour anyway and bring it down into the lower lash line. So just pull up from your lower lash line, and that's where your V should be. And then once you have that line plotted in, just pull the colour inwards. If you're going back and forwards, it's going to smudge out the line. So you just want to place it on the line and then pull inwards. And while I want that shape that she has, I do want these two colours to blend together, the darker colour and the lighter reddy brown. So I'm going to take my blending brush and kind of dip between the two and use that mixture just to blend where they meet. So I'm going to leave the crease as it is for the moment, and I can make any adjustments later. I'm then going to take this Dazzle dust by BarryM, it's in number 100 and it's like a bronzy gold. I'm taking that on a shader brush and just going to place that on the lid. I use this colour in another tutorial. If you haven't seen it, I think it's the Bronze Cat Eye tutorial. And I realised I really liked it. It was kind of sitting in my drawer for a while. But it's really pretty. What also stands out about this Kim Kardashian look is that she has this really bright highlight in her inner corner. It's like a really frosted white. So I'm using this frosty, it's like a white off-white that I have. This is just from a NYX palette. So if you have a white or a frosty white, go ahead and use that. I'm taking it on this pencil brush. You can use any small brush that you find is easy to get into that corner right there. So I'm just going to push that into the inner corner. Next I'm moving on to the liner. I'm taking my new favourite black eyeliner pencil. This is Perversion from Urban Decay, and it's one of their 24/7 glide on eye pencils. It's a really creamy inky black pencil. So I'm going to line my top lash line first, and it's not too thick a line that I'm going to make. We just want some definition along the lash line. So just like that, I'm not worried about it being too perfect because we're going to smudge it out in a second. What I'm then going to do is line my waterline, so my lower waterline as well as my top waterline. You don't have to do this if you're not comfortable with it. And I'm also going to run it in along the inner corner waterline because I noticed Kim Kardashian has that really defined in black. Then I'm going to take this little smudger brush like this, and I'm going to take the darker brown I used, which was Mystery from MAC, and I'm just going to smudge that along the liner on the top lash line. And this just gives a softer effect. It's not such a harsh line then. So I don't know if you can see, but the black then just kind of fades up into the gold a little bit nicer. I'm then going to stick with that brush that I have, and I'm going to take the same colour again and run that along my outer half of my lower lash line. I'm going to take this lighter brown, this is Charcoal Brown from MAC, and I'm going to place that along the inner half. This is just me being picky again, but I'm just going to take the brush and a little bit of the Harmony blush. I'm going to run along where I put both those shadows just to give it a little more of a warmer colour. For the highlight for Kim's brow, she does have a very light colour, like an off-white again, but it's not as sparkly as what she has in her inner corner. So I'm going to go into my Naked Basics palette from Urban Decay, and I'm going to take Venus, which is this colour here. And Venus does have a sheen to it, so it's not going to be matte, but it's not going to be super sparkly like what we put in the inner corner. So I'm taking a clean shader brush, and I'm running that under my brow. And rather than kind of blending it with that brown colour in the crease, I'm just kind of dragging it around it because again it's she has it as like a structured shape. Now I'm going to fill in my brow. Luckily my brows aren't too dissimilar shape to Kim's, however hers are thicker and they're also, the arch is more rounded. So if you see my natural brow, it's quite a sharp arch underneath, whereas hers is a lot softer, a lot more rounded. So I'm going to fill in this one to match this one, and I'm going to be using my trusty dark brown eyebrow pencil from Rimmel. And you don't have to be filling in your brows to match Kim's, this is just for the purpose of recreating the look. I'm going to take an angled brush and a little bit of Brun from MAC, which is another brown, and just run that through my brow. I'm just brushing through my brows with a spoolie. This one is just from MAC, just to show the texture of the hairs so they're not too drawn on. Now I'm just going to curl my lashes and apply mascara. I'm also making sure to apply mascara to my bottom lashes because Kim has really long bottom lashes. I'm just going to apply some nice lengthening false lashes. These ones are from collection 2000. So those are the finished eyes. So for the rest of my face I used my Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation in number 53. Concealer, I used Clinique's Line Smoothing Concealer in medium beige. I then set my concealer with Nye's Banana powder, and Kim Kardashian actually does use this powder to set her under eye for that highlighted look. For the rest of my face I set with e.l.f.'s pressed powder in caramel. For my contour then I used Too Faced Chocolate Soleil matte bronzing powder, and I just use this through the back of the cheekbone. She has really great cheekbones, but in this look from what I could see she wasn't wearing too much bronzer or contour, so I just put it through the back of the cheekbone. She also didn't have much blush on. It was quite a nudie kind of a blush, so what I did was I dipped my blush brush between MAC's Harmony blush, which I used in the eyeshadow, and also e.l.f.'s pressed powder in caramel, and I just dipped them back and forth and placed some kind of in the midsection of the cheek, so it's not like right on the apples, it's not right at the back of the cheekbone, but it's just kind of in that middle section. For the lips then I lined with number 7's 20 Nude pencil. I then used a little bit of MAC's Myth lipstick, which is very light nude, and I then topped it off with Bourjois 3D lip gloss in Beige Elastic, I think that's how you say it, which is like a goldy shimmery nude lip gloss, which looks very like what Kim was wearing in the pictures. So that's the finished look. I hope you liked it. I'm going to zoom in once again to have a closer look. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!